Have you ever noticed that the harder you chase something, the faster it seems to run away? You push, you strive, you give it everything you've got. Yet somehow, the more you force it, the further it drifts. It's like trying to catch your reflection in water. The more you reach, the more the ripples distort it. But when you stand still, the image becomes clear. The truth is, life doesn't respond well to desperation. The universe works like a magnet. The more force you use, the more resistance you create. But what happens when you release the grip? Suddenly, everything you once chased starts moving toward you. Not because you fought for it, but because you allowed it. Imagine planting a seed. You can water it every hour, check on it every minute, and stress over every leaf that doesn't sprout fast enough. But the plant doesn't grow because you worry. It grows when you step back and let nature take its course. That's how life works. The more you trust the process, the more effortlessly things align. You have a choice. Keep forcing outcomes, exhausting yourself in the process, or surrender to the natural rhythm of life. This isn't about giving up. It's about understanding that true power isn't in control. It's in trust. When you stop struggling, when you stop chasing, that's when the real magic happens. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to shift your energy so that everything you desire flows to you effortlessly. I'll reveal the one mindset change that almost no one talks about. The key that separates those who struggle from those who seem to attract everything with ease. So stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share will change the way you see manifestation forever. Also, if you're ready to unlock this power, show your commitment by dropping a comment below. I chase naturally. Let's affirm it together. And before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on powerful insights like this. Now, let's begin. 1. Let go to gain. The secret to manifesting without struggle. The more you cling to an outcome, the more it slips through your fingers. It's like trying to hold on to water. Gripping too tightly only makes it escape faster. Whether it's landing the perfect job, building the right relationship, or achieving a personal goal, we often believe that if we just try harder, think more, and push further, we can control the results. But the reality is the opposite. The more you force, the more resistance you create. Think about it. Have you ever desperately wanted something so bad that it consumed your every thought? And yet, the more you obsessed over it, the further away it seemed. That's because when you fixate on an outcome, you introduce pressure, anxiety, and fear into the process. You start moving from a place of desperation rather than confidence. Instead of acting with ease, you act with tension. And life, like nature, doesn't respond well to force. It responds to flow. Imagine planting a tree. If you constantly dig up the soil, checking to see if the roots are growing, you only delay the process. If you keep drowning it in water, fearing it won't survive, you suffocate it. Growth happens when you plant the seed, nurture it, and then trust the process. The same applies to your goals. You must do the work, but you also have to let go of needing instant results. Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happens as it should, and you will be happy. Epictetus. This is the essence of true freedom. Happiness doesn't come from things unfolding exactly as we want. It comes from trusting that life has a rhythm, a timing, and a way of unfolding that is beyond our control. A friend of mine, let's call her Lily, once chased a career milestone with everything she had. She worked endlessly, sacrificed her peace, and obsessed over when success would come. But the more she pushed, the more things refused to fall into place. She was exhausted, burned out, and frustrated. One day, a mentor told her, "Give your best every day, but let go of the outcome. Trust that it will happen when it's meant to." At first, she resisted. How could she stop worrying? How could she just trust that things would work out? But she decided to try. She focused on doing her best daily, detached from the pressure of results, and let go of the constant worry about when things would happen. And something incredible occurred. Opportunities began to align, doors started opening, and success found her effortlessly. This is the paradox of manifestation. The moment you stop needing something is the moment it begins to flow toward you. Why? Because when you detach, you remove the mental noise, the overthinking, the energy of lack. You become present, confident, and open to what life is offering. You might be wondering, but if I don't focus on the result, won't I lose motivation? Absolutely not. In fact, you'll become even more powerful. When you focus on your actions instead of obsessing over results, you step into your full potential. You're no longer working from fear, you're working from trust. The real secret to manifesting effortlessly is this: give your best, trust the process, and stop trying to control what is beyond your reach. When you stop chasing, the energy shifts. What you seek begins to seek you. So, here's the challenge. Can you let go and trust? Can you shift your focus from the outcome to the process? If you're ready, affirm it in the comments below with, "I chase naturally." Let's rewire our minds together. 2. Win the mind, win the game. The art of mental mastery. Your mind is your most powerful weapon. Every thought you allow, every belief you entertain, and every perspective you choose is shaping your reality in ways you may not even realize. The world can throw chaos, uncertainty, and challenges your way, but your mindset determines whether you break under pressure or rise above it. Most people think their emotions and reactions are automatic, out of their control. But here's the truth. Your thoughts are the architects of your life. A calm, focused mind attracts solutions. A scattered, fearful mind creates obstacles that aren't even there. The difference between people who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't luck, money, or intelligence. It's how they think. Imagine a ship caught in a storm. One captain panics, loses control, and lets fear decide his next move. Another captain stays calm, reads the waves, and adjusts the sails with precision. Same storm, different mindset. And only one makes it through unshaken. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. This is where real power lies. Most people believe happiness depends on circumstances. If things go well, they feel good. If things go wrong, they feel bad. But a strong mind doesn't allow external events to dictate its inner state. It doesn't just react, it decides. Take Rachel, for example. She lived in a constant state of stress, always racing against time, overwhelmed by work, and paralyzed by fear of the future. Every problem felt like the end of the world, and no matter how hard she worked, it never seemed enough. One day, she made a decision. She wasn't going to let stress own her anymore. Instead of reacting to every challenge with frustration, she took control of her mindset. She practiced mindfulness, trained herself to shift her thoughts, and started asking, "How can I use this challenge to grow?" The change was subtle at first, but then something powerful happened. What once felt like overwhelming pressure became manageable. Problems turned into puzzles, stress faded, and in its place came clarity. Doors opened, opportunities appeared, and suddenly life wasn't something happening to her. It was something she was shaping. This is the shift most people never make. They let fear, stress, and negativity cloud their judgment, keeping them stuck in cycles of frustration. But when you train your mind to see solutions instead of problems, everything changes. You might be wondering, but what if negative thoughts just keep coming? They will. That's the nature of the mind. It produces thoughts constantly. But here's the key. You don't have to believe every thought you have. Most people take their thoughts as truth without question. A strong mind filters them, chooses which to feed, and redirects the rest. When a challenge comes up, you have two choices. You can think, "This is too hard, I can't handle it." Or you can think, "This is tough, but I've faced challenges before. I'll figure it out." The thought you choose determines everything that follows. One path leads to doubt, inaction, and frustration. The other leads to clarity, confidence, and success. Mastering your mindset isn't about pretending life is easy. It's about choosing the perspective that serves you best. The person who sees obstacles everywhere will always struggle. The person who sees possibilities will always move forward. At the end of the day, the quality of your life is the quality of your thoughts. What you think determines what you see, what you believe, and what you attract. Control your mind, and you control your destiny. 3. The clock of the universe. Why timing is everything. We live in a world obsessed with speed. Everything must happen now. Success, love, results. We push, we chase, we try to force life to move faster. But have you ever noticed that the more you rush, the more things seem to slip through your fingers? It's like pulling on the petals of a flower, demanding it bloom before its time. You don't speed up the process, you destroy it. There's a hidden rhythm to life, an invisible clock ticking in the background, setting the perfect moment for everything to unfold. But most people don't trust it. Instead, they panic. They compare themselves to others, worry that they're falling behind, and start forcing things that aren't ready. And what happens? Doors close, mistakes pile up, frustration builds. No great thing is created suddenly. Epictetus. The truth is, everything worth having, success, love, wisdom, growth, takes time. You don't rush a sunrise. You don't dig up a seed every day to check if it's growing. You don't force a storm to pass faster. Some things require patience, space, and faith. And the moment you stop forcing is the moment things start falling into place. Take Sophie, for example. She was determined to make it in her career, working tirelessly, chasing every opportunity, pushing harder and harder. But no matter what she did, nothing seemed to click. Every door remained closed. Every effort felt wasted. The frustration nearly broke her. Then she did something radical. She let go. Not in a way that meant giving up, but in a way that meant trusting the process. Instead of forcing, she focused on growth, learning new skills, meeting the right people, refining her craft. And then something incredible happened. Without warning, doors started opening. The opportunities she once had to chase now came knocking. What once felt impossible started flowing naturally. Sophie finally understood. When you stop rushing, you make space for the right things to arrive. You might be wondering, but if I don't push, won't I fall behind? That's the fear talking. Falling behind compared to what? A timeline society created, a standard someone else set. You're not late. You're on your own path. Think of the bamboo tree. For years it shows no visible growth. It stays hidden beneath the soil, appearing stagnant while other plants flourish. But underground, it's building an unshakable foundation. And then, when the time is right, it grows overnight, shooting up faster than any other tree. Was it failing all those years? Number. It was preparing, and so are you. The universe doesn't deny you what's meant for you, it simply delivers it when you're ready. And readiness isn't about effort, it's about alignment. Are you the person today who is truly prepared for what you want? Because if not, no amount of rushing will make it happen sooner. Here's the hard truth. Timing is beyond your control. You don't decide when love arrives, when success happens, or when your breakthrough comes. But you do decide how you show up every day, how much you grow, and whether you trust the process or fight against it. There is a hidden order to things, a divine intelligence orchestrating every event in perfect time. And when you stop resisting, when you stop trying to control what's outside of your hands, you create the space for life to unfold exactly as it should. So the question isn't, when will it happen? The question is, will you trust that it already is? 4. Move with purpose, not panic. The secret to lasting success. There's a fine line between determination and desperation. One leads to success, the other leads to exhaustion. The difference? Purpose. When you move with purpose, success naturally gravitates toward you. But when you act out of desperation, rushing, pushing, scrambling, you repel the very things you want. It's easy to fall into the trap of urgency. When time feels like it's running out, when success seems just out of reach, the instinct is to force things. You chase, you beg for opportunities, you act from fear rather than clarity. And yet, the harder you push, the further things seem to slip away. It's like quicksand. The more frantically you struggle, the deeper you sink. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Epictetus. This is the core of purposeful action. Before you take a single step, you must know who you are and where you're going. Desperation comes from uncertainty, from reacting to the world instead of creating your own path. Purpose, on the other hand, comes from clarity, knowing exactly what you stand for and moving accordingly. Jack, a man I know, learned this the hard way. He was stuck in his career, constantly chasing the next opportunity, doing whatever he could to get ahead. He networked relentlessly, applied to every possible job, and said yes to everything, yet nothing was working. His efforts felt hollow. People sensed his desperation, and instead of attracting success, he pushed it away. One day, he stepped back and asked himself, "Why am I doing this?" He realized he had been acting blindly, without direction. He had no clear vision of who he wanted to be, only a frantic desire to get ahead. So, he changed his approach. He stopped chasing and started aligning. He defined his purpose, set goals that matched his values, and began moving with quiet confidence. The results? Opportunities started flowing. People respected his newfound clarity. Instead of fighting for success, he allowed success to come to him. This is the paradox most people don't understand. Success isn't about speed, it's about alignment. When you move with purpose, you don't need to force things. They happen naturally. Desperation is a repellent, but confidence is a magnet. You might be wondering, but what if I don't have time to wait? That's fear talking. Desperation convinces you that you must act now, that if you don't chase every opportunity, you'll miss your chance. But that's not how success works. The most powerful moves are never rushed. They are intentional, strategic, and steady. Think of a master chess player. They don't frantically move pieces around the board, hoping something works. They think ahead, plan their moves, and act with purpose. That's how they win. Life is the same way. When you panic, you lose. When you move with certainty, you win. The world can sense the energy you carry. Desperation screams, "I need this," and people pull away. Confidence says, "I am already enough, and what's meant for me will come." And people gravitate toward that energy. At the end of the day, it's not about how fast you move. It's about moving in the right direction. When you stop chasing and start aligning, success becomes inevitable. 5. The illusion of control. How letting go sets you free. Most people spend their lives trying to control everything: their future, other people, circumstances, outcomes. They believe that if they just hold on tighter, plan more, worry enough, or force situations, they can make life bend to their will. But what if all that effort is actually what's holding them back? Think of a clenched fist gripping sand. The harder you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. But if you relax your hand, the sand stays. Control is an illusion, and the more you fight for it, the more chaos you create. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much you plan, things will happen that you didn't expect. People will behave in ways you can't control. Circumstances will shift beyond your reach. And if your happiness depends on everything going exactly as you imagined, you will always live in fear. Fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of things not going your way. That's not freedom. That's imprisonment. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus. True peace comes when you finally stop trying to control the uncontrollable and focus on the only thing that's ever been in your hands: yourself. You can't control how others act, but you can control how you respond. You can't control what the future holds, but you can control how you prepare for it. When you shift your energy inward, when you master your own mind instead of wasting energy trying to master the world, everything changes. Anna, a woman I know, spent years trapped in anxiety. She worried about her career, obsessed over what people thought of her, and stressed over every possible outcome. No matter how much she tried to plan, something always went wrong, and she felt powerless. The more she tried to control everything, the more exhausted and overwhelmed she became. One day, she made a radical shift. Instead of obsessing over what she couldn't change, she focused on what she could: her mindset, her actions, her daily habits. She stopped trying to predict the future and started being present. She let go of needing to control how people perceived her and simply showed up as her best self. And that's when life began to flow. Suddenly, opportunities appeared. The stress that once consumed her disappeared. Things that once frustrated her lost their power, not because life became easier, but because she stopped resisting it. You might be wondering, but if I don't take control, won't things fall apart? That's the fear talking. Control doesn't prevent chaos, it creates it. When you let go, you don't lose power, you gain clarity. You begin to respond instead of react. You stop grasping for outcomes and start allowing life to unfold. You stop fighting the current and start moving with it. Imagine a river. If you try to fight against it, swim upstream, and resist its flow, you exhaust yourself. But if you trust the current, if you move with the water, you'll be carried exactly where you need to go. That's what letting go feels like. At the end of the day, life will always be uncertain, but that's okay. The goal isn't to control everything, it's to trust yourself enough to handle whatever comes. When you release the need to grip so tightly, you finally make space for life to surprise you. 6. The wealth you can't see. How abundance is already yours. Most people spend their lives in a constant chase, running after success, money, recognition, or happiness, believing that once they finally have enough, they'll feel fulfilled. But here's the paradox. The more you chase, the more scarcity you create. You're always looking at what's missing, always feeling like you don't have enough, always believing that something outside of you will complete you. And that mindset keeps you stuck. Now, imagine flipping the script. What if you already had everything you needed? What if, instead of coming from a place of lack, you started living from a place of abundance, believing that what you seek is already on its way, that you are already worthy, already rich in ways that go beyond material wealth? That shift changes everything. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus. True abundance isn't about stockpiling things, it's about needing less. It's about realizing that fulfillment comes not from what you acquire, but from what you recognize. The moment you stop feeling desperate for more and start appreciating what's already here, you step into an entirely different energy, an energy that naturally attracts more. James, a man I know, spent years chasing success. He believed that if he just reached a certain income, gained enough recognition, or hit certain milestones, he'd finally feel complete. But every time he achieved a goal, he just set another one. The finish line kept moving, and fulfillment always felt just out of reach. One day, he made a simple but powerful decision: to live as if he already had everything he needed. Instead of obsessing over what was missing, he focused on gratitude. He appreciated his health, his relationships, his skills. He stopped treating life like a race and started embracing what was already in front of him. And something strange happened. The less he chased, the more things started flowing to him. The very opportunities, wealth, and success he had once desperately pursued began appearing effortlessly. Why? Because he had shifted from scarcity to abundance. He no longer repelled what he wanted with his energy of desperation. Instead, he attracted it through confidence, trust, and gratitude. You might be thinking, but if I stop chasing, won't I stop progressing? Not at all. In fact, you'll move faster. Scarcity is rooted in fear. It makes you act impulsively, take unnecessary risks, and make decisions from a place of panic. Abundance, on the other hand, is rooted in trust. It allows you to move strategically, to make better choices, and to act from a place of strength instead of desperation. Think of a king versus a beggar. The king walks into a room with confidence, knowing he already has everything he needs. The beggar, on the other hand, is constantly grasping, constantly pleading, constantly desperate for more. Which one do you think attracts more opportunities, more respect, more wealth? At the end of the day, abundance is not something you wait for. It's something you embody. The moment you stop acting like something is missing, the moment you stop thinking you need something more to be whole, you free yourself. And that shift, more than money, more than success, more than anything external, is the key to a truly rich life. 7. Move with intention, not obsession. The art of taking aligned action. Most people believe success is about grinding endlessly, forcing results, obsessing over every detail, and trying to control every outcome. They think that if they just push harder, worry more, and keep their foot on the gas, things will fall into place. But here's the paradox. The more you force, the more resistance you create. The more you stress about how things should happen, the more you block them from unfolding the way they could. Imagine planting a tree. You water it, you give it sunlight, you take care of it. But if you dig it up every day to check if the roots are growing, you destroy the very thing you're trying to nurture. Success is no different. You have to put in the work, but then you have to let go. Do your part, then trust the process. Effort and patience will achieve more than force and anxiety. Seneca. This is the balance most people fail to understand. Hard work without trust is like running on a treadmill. You move, but you're not going anywhere. But when you take aligned action, action that matches your purpose, your values, and your vision, you create momentum. The key isn't just doing more, it's doing the right things and then stepping back with confidence, knowing that what's meant for you will come. Grace, a woman I know, learned this lesson the hard way. She poured everything into growing her business, working long hours, chasing every opportunity, stressing over every result. But no matter how hard she worked, success still felt just out of reach. The pressure was draining her, and she was getting nowhere. Then her mentor gave her a simple but profound piece of advice. Take the right actions, then let go. Trust that what's meant for you will find you. At first it felt counterintuitive. How could she stop obsessing? How could she trust something she couldn't see? But she tried it. She focused on what she could control, her effort, her strategy, her mindset. And then, instead of stressing over when success would come, she simply let things unfold. And that's when everything changed. Within months, new opportunities started appearing, without struggle, without force. She realized that success wasn't something to chase, but something to align with. When she stopped acting out of desperation and started moving with trust, things fell into place naturally. You might be wondering, but if I stop worrying about the results, won't I lose motivation? Absolutely not. In fact, you'll become even more powerful. When you take action from a place of alignment, you don't just work. You move with clarity, purpose, and focus. Desperation leads to burnout. Trust leads to momentum. Think of an archer. They don't fire an arrow with shaking hands, hoping it lands somewhere close. They take their time. They aim. They steady their breath. And then they let go. That's how they hit the target. Not by panicking, but by trusting their skill. At the end of the day, the key to success isn't just effort, it's alignment. Work hard, yes. Be intentional, absolutely. But once you've done your part, release the need to control the outcome. The universe doesn't work on your timeline, it works on its own. And when you stop chasing, stressing, and forcing, you create the space for the right opportunities to come at the right time. Move with intention, then let go. Success will follow. True success isn't about chasing, forcing, or obsessing. It's about alignment, trust, and action with purpose. When you move with confidence and let go of control, life flows effortlessly. If this message resonated with you, subscribe, share, and hit the bell icon for more powerful insights. Let's grow together.